Hi everyone, welcome to social class. So as we learned in the previous class, that is part 1 about national movements in India. Today I'm going to start that part 2. Before of that, once we revise what we learned in the part 1. In the part 1 we learned that the national movements of India divided into 3 phases. The first phase is called as moderates. Second phase is called as extremists. I covered these 2 concepts in the part 1. Now I'm going to start that part 2 about Gandhian era. So what is this Gandhian era and how Gandhi played a crucial role in the Indian independence, and what are the principles of Mahatma Gandhi? This all we are going to be learn in this class, that is part 2. In the part 2 I am going to cover that Gandhian era. First of all, we should be known that what is the great achievement of Mahatma Gandhi. Before of that, we should be know about the Mahatma Gandhi. So everyone knows that Mahatma Gandhi is called as father of nation. So he is one person worked a lot for the development of Indian independence. First, what is qualification? Basic education is studied in India for the completion of barrister. Barrister in the sense of present days, it is called as law profession, Bachelor of Law. For the completion of Bachelor of Law, that is barrister, he got to that England, there he completed law, then again he gone to that South Africa for practice. So in South Africa, he struggled a lot because Mahatma Gandhi is an Indian. In South Africa, there is a system is called as apartheid. Apartheid means segregation between whites and blacks are called as apartheid. So because of apartheid, lot of problem is going to face in South Africa all by the colored people. Colored people in the sense of black and different country people. So here in South Africa, there is a lot of segregation, lot of difference between the whites and black. Even for traveling, take an example for traveling. If you want to enter, then you can say that Indians, otherwise African people, if they want to enter in the train, they don't have a chance to enter into the first class seats. They have to travel only by sitting in the second class and other thing. So there is a one problem which is faced by Mahatma Gandhi in South Africa, that is one day he wanted to travel a long distance between one area to other area in South Africa by train by Mahatma Gandhi. At the time, whites sent him from the train, means thrown in from the train. From the day he started that movement, Satyagraha, he fought against of the black people without catching any weapon, and just with the peace, with the silence, he started the movement. Finally, there is some success is happened in the region of South Africa. So there is a lot of people in the world that following that Mahatma Gandhi. So today I am going to start that what are the movements led by Mahatma Gandhi after return into the region of India. So he came back to the India in 1915. In 1915, he came back to the India. After coming back to the India, he worked for the development of India. First, after 1915, when he came back to the India, directly he did not enter into the national problems, but he toured the India and he studied the problems which are the problem is facing by the people of India. For that, he made that report for achievement of independence. So when he came back to the India, first he solved that some problems. One is called as Champaran problem and Qaida Ahmedabad textile workers problem. First, in Champaran. Champaran is a place that can be found in the region of Bihar. There is a lot of problem facing by the peasants. Peasants means farmers. So, in Champaran, even in Qaida also, the both are linked up with the peasants. Peasants means farmers. Maybe they are cultivating that indigo. Indigo is that's a natural color. It can be used in the textile industry. So once upon a time, this indigo, which is called as an indigo. Indigo is one that is a natural color which can be used in the textile industry. That indigo are producing in the region of Champaran. There is a lot of variation when they are selling to the crop. So rules was the Indian people, those who are cultivating the crops, they have to sell to the British officials or British merchants, and the price is also fixed by the people of British. So because of lot of segregation, they are struggling, and the people of the Champaran and Qaida, they consulted Mahatma Gandhi because they knows about Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi solved lot of problems in the region of South Africa by doing the Satyagraham. For this reason, they met Mahatma Gandhi, and Mahatma Gandhi supported the people of Champaran and Qaida in the region of India. That's the first problems were solved by the Mahatma Gandhi, but in the time of 1917 in Champaran, 1918 in Qaida. Similarly, one more problem that you can say that Ahmedabad, that you can find in the region of Gujarat. In Ahmedabad also, textile workers, those who are working in the region of textile, they are struggling with the industrialists. Because of that, they are not getting the proper wages. There is a lot of restriction and working hours. So these are all the factors. So after when Mahatma Gandhi consulted with the textile industrial officials, finally they accepted to increase that 33% of salaries to the textile workers. So one more time, what are the problems the Mahatma Gandhi solved in the local level or else called as regional level? The first problem is Champaran problem. The second problem is Qaida problem. Third one is Ahmedabad textile workers problems. These are the three problems. That's the local problems that Mahatma Gandhi was solved. Afterwards, that Mahatma Gandhi got a chance to involve in the national politics. So there is a one act which was implemented by the British government in 1990. The rule was Rowlatt Act. So in 1990, British government decided to implement a rule name is called as Rowlatt Act. According to the Rowlatt Act, British, they can arrest any person without trial. It means if the British people, British government wants to arrest me, they can arrest. They will not say the reason also. That is the act which is made by the British government, that is in 1919 in the month of April. So one more time, what is Rowlatt Act? Rowlatt Act is an act which is made by the British government to arrest any Indian individual without showing any reason, and they can keep in the jail. That's a Rowlatt Act, and according to this act, the citizen rights also the rights of the citizens are also going to be cancelled. So this is a right. Indians are calling as Black Act, otherwise called as this is a one of the bad act implemented by the British government to arrest any person, to control the people rights and to control the movement of the people from one place to other place. Once this act was made by the British government, they decided to arrest any person. So the reason Indians was opposed directly against of the Rowlatt Act. So Mahatma Gandhi, almost all the Indian leaders, they decided to start against of the Rowlatt Act. So there is a one more. We have to know that what are the principles of Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi principles was, one is called Satyagraha, doing that movement without any weapons. That one is called as Satyagraha, other one is called as peace. Next one is non-violence. These are the weapons of Mahatma Gandhi. So we know that what is meant by a weapon. Weapon means sword, knife, arrows. These are called as, even guns are called as weapons. But any person, if they want to do the fight with any other members, present days we can use the weapon. But one more weapon is having by the Mahatma Gandhi. These all are physical weapons, but Mahatma Gandhi is having that a weapon like non-violence, peace, truth, Satyagraha. These are some different type of weapons of Mahatma Gandhi. By using this one, he called the people is also to follow the ideas of Mahatma Gandhi. For this first, he got a chance to start a movement against of the Rowlatt Act. The first time Mahatma Gandhi is also started a Satyagraha against of the Rowlatt Act. So one more time, next one is, according to this act, one day in the month of April, British decided to arrest two persons. One is called as Dr. Satyapal and Saifuddin Kichlu. These two are the persons, the famous persons in the region of Amritsar, that's in the area of Punjab. They want to meet the British officials. They are asking to that to cancel the Rowlatt Act, and British decided to arrest these two persons without showing any reason. Because main intention, according to the Rowlatt Act, they want to stop that movement from one place to other place. They also wants to be, means control the rights of the citizen, and also they want to be control that unity between the Hindu and also the Muslims. For this reason, in the month of April in 1919, Dr. Satyapal and Saifuddin Kichlu were the famous persons in the region of Punjab. They arrested these two members. So by seeing this one, the followers of Satyapal and Saifuddin Kichlu, they met in a place. The place name is called as, that's one stadium that we can form in the region of Amritsar. That is called as now I am going to be explain Jallianwala Bagh massacre, or is one of the bad issue which has happened in the region of India. That's in 1919, 13th April. After the arrest of Satyapal and also the Saifuddin Kichlu, there is a one issue which has happened in the region of India, that is Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Jallianwala Bagh massacre is a one issue or an incident which has happened in the region of India, that's in 13th April 1919. The followers and also that there are some of the Indian National Congress, they are going to be conducting a meeting in the region of Amritsar, a particular like a park or like a stadium, and this park is having that 3 to 4 ways. The way is also not a broad way, very narrow way. The park is having that way. The way is very narrow. It is not a broad way, and that through that way there is no vehicles will pass. Only the people can move from one place to other place. That's called as very small ways. And this park is having that 3 to 4 ways. Inside, people, the followers of these members, they are participated in the meeting, or else called biggest gather. More than 25,000 people was gathered in the park, and they are not catching any weapons or else guns. Just they are doing that the meeting with a peacefully, without having that any disturbances. They are participated, and some of the members, they are discussing about the issues, what is happened, and they are doing these all the things. Suddenly, at the time, there is one is General O. Dyer, is like a brigadier general. He entered into the stadium with the army of 90 members with weapons and the guns. They started fire on the people, and people, they don't have any chance to move from other areas, because that part is having the 3 to 4 small ways, and these are the ways are very narrow, and in the park they can form one well. So people, when the general war Dyer and it is army, they started a fire. In this fight, lot of members, they lost their life. Some, and with his troops, they entered into the park and they started fire on the people. In this firing, lot of members, they lost their life, and some of the members, they tried to escape from the park, and some of the members, they jumped into the well. Some of the members, they tried to be escape from the park. This is one of the brutal issue which has happened in the region of Punjab. That's in 1919 April 13. So this is an issue which India never forgets, in even now also. So one more time, Jallianwala Bagh massacre is one of the bad incidents which has happened in India. That's 1919 April 13. At the time, there are people, they gathered in the park. The park is having the 3 to 4 narrow ways, and when they are conducting the meeting, And General O'Dwyer, the British officer, military officer, they entered with his troop, that is 90 members of troops. They entered with the guns into the park. They started fire onto the people. In this issue, lot of members, they lost life, and there is more than thousands of members lost their life. This is an issue which has happened in 1919 after the World War I. You know one thing, in the World War I, India supported British government. The World War I was ended in 1918 with the victory of British, even though our British government given gift in the form of Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Next, one more issue. By seeing this one, all the people, lot of Indian famous educationalists, diplomats, and everyone, once upon a time, they have such titles and awards also. These all things they given back to the British government because of this Jallianwala Bagh massacre. After this, Mahatma Gandhi and everyone is feeling that very bad, and directly they all are doing that movement, satyagrahas and non-cooperation to the British government from the time of 1919 onwards. There is one issue which happened in afterwards. Khilafat issue or Khilafat movement is one of the important movements which has happened in the region of India. So what is Khilafat? In the region of Turkey, in Turkey, the head of the Muslim is called as Khalifa. Before of 1918, Khalifa is a head of Muslim religion throughout the world. So, after the 1918, British decided to reduce the powers of Khalifa, and they want to take the complete control on Turkey. When this one is happened, that in the region of India, famous persons like Shaukat Ali and Muhammad Ali Jinnah, these two persons, they started that movement against of what is happened in the region of Turkey. That is, can say that against of British, what is happened in the region of Turkey, because they reduced the powers of Khalifa. When the Shaukat Ali and Muhammad Ali Jinnah, they started the movement for supporting the Khalifa. At the time, Indians also supported, that Hindus and every religion, they supported this Khilafat movement. Even Mahatma Gandhi is also supported this Khilafat movement, because Mahatma Gandhi is saying that Hindu and Muslim, the both are brothers, bye-bye. So there is no variation in the region of India before of 1947, and there is no difference between Hindu and Muslim. Everyone is moving like a brothers. So that is one of the movement, Khilafat movement. One more time, Khilafat movement is a movement which is happened in the region of India to against of British, which is happened in the region of Turkey. That is, British decided to reduce the powers of Khalifa after occupying the Turkey. For against of this, Shaukat Ali, Muhammad Ali Jinnah decided to start a movement against of that. Later, Mahatma Gandhi selected as the president of INC in the Pune conference. After when he became the president of INC, he decided to go for non-cooperation movement. So non-cooperation movement means Indians, they never support the British in any aspect. The students, lawyers, and everyone, even the barbers and everyone, they never supported British government, Because of that, they're feeling that once if we are not supporting in any aspect, in anything, they never come back to that. They never means they can give the independence to the Indians. That's the main intention of Mahatma Gandhi. So the reason Mahatma Gandhi's call for non-cooperation movement after the Khilafat movement. Non-cooperation means that Indians never supported the British in any aspect. All the provisions, including students, teachers, college going students, and everyone, they stop supporting to the British government. Afterwards, there is a lot of issues will happen. Because of the issues, Mahatma Gandhi stopped this non-cooperation movement. After that, there is a one movement is called as Salt Satyagraha or Civil Disobedient Movement. So what is this movement? From Sabarmati Ashramam to Dandi. It's a coastal area. Mahatma Gandhi along with 78 followers, they started journey from Sabarmati to the Dandi, a coastal area where the salt is going to prepare. Once upon a time, the salt preparation in India is done by the British. It's called as monopoly trade. Monopoly means single producer, and we can find the more buyers. For this reason, Mahatma Gandhi decided to break this salt law. For the reason, along with the 78 followers, they started this journey more than hundreds of miles with the barefoot in every village. Lot of members are also joined to the Mahatma Gandhi's. They reached to the Dandi. They started for cooking by the Indian people. But when the police attacked the Mahatma Gandhi, they started the Lodi Church. Even though they are hitting on the hands, even the blood is coming, but they catch the salt. They never leave that. That says that Indians are having a lot of dedication for doing the work. One more time, what is Salt Satyagraha, or is called as Civil Disobedient Movement? This is a movement led by the Mahatma Gandhi from Sabarmati Ashramam to Dandi, where they are going to prepare the salt. It's a long distance, that is more than 200 miles distant. Mahatma Gandhi along with 78 followers, they started the journey with the barefoot. A lot of members in every village, they joined in the movement. After reaching to the Dandi, the people, they started for cooking the salt, where the police started Lodi Church. In this Lodi Church, a lot of members, they got that injuries. A lot of members, they're going to be arrested. After this, Mahatma Gandhi is also arrested. Finally, there is a one last movement led by the Mahatma Gandhi. It is called as Quit India Movement. What is meant by quit? Quit means leave our India. So last movement that is happened in 1942 when the World War is going on. So we know that World War time was between 1939 to 1945. So British asked the Indian support in the World War II also, but Indians were not having any interest for supporting that World War II, because in the World War I, India supported, but even though they did not declare independence to the India. Finally, British asked the Indian support, and they are saying that after completion of war, they will declare the independence. But this time, Indians are not having any interest to support the British government. So the reason Mahatma Gandhi launched in 1942. The movement is called as Quit India movement. Quit India means leave our India. Mahatma Gandhi is given a one slogan. In this movement, you can say that do or die. Do something for the independence. Don't stop the movement in the middle. If it is required to sacrifice your life. One more time. Do something means participate in the movement. If it is required, die for the nation. It means sacrificing your life towards the nation. But don't stop the movement in the middle. So this is a movement, is the last movement of India. After Quit India movement, then India got somewhat success. But even though this movement is also controlled by British government, by arresting lot of members, they lost their life. More than 90,000 members, they gone for backseat of barracks. So one more thing. First, I will explain that what are the movements I covered today. First, I explained that local issues of Mahatma Gandhi, that is Champaran issue, Qaeda, and other one is called as Ahmedabad textile workers problem. After that, I also explained that Rowlatt Act. Next, I also explained that Jallianwala Bagh massacre. After that, Khilafat. Next, non-cooperation. Next, civil disobedience or Salt Satyagraha. Finally, this is called as Quit India movement. This is also a movement was ended by the British government by laఠీచార్జ్ or firing on the people. But this is one of the biggest movement led by the Mahatma Gandhi. Finally, British government decided to give independence in 1947. So we got independence in 1947. So one thing, here I am giving some work to everyone. So last time I also explained and I gave them some work. This time I am giving that work. Everyone collect the information about the famous movements of Indian independence that's led by Mahatma Gandhi. So everyone writes this work and I'll check after the reopening of the school. Thank you.